Hello YouTube world, do you like free things? Do you like giveaways? Do you like helping people in need? That's what I use all the money from streaming and content creating for. Ways to do that are either going to my Twitch, using your Amazon Prime for a free Twitch subscription and get these awesome emotes. You can also do it by using code WillHall at ManaTrades to get 15% on the first 3 months. Another great way to support the cause is by heading over to the merch store and picking up some sweet t-shirts that say make Modern great again. Or maybe you're an Infector, or maybe you just want to fuck Tron. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Every Friday I give away a free pizza no matter where you are in the world. Lastly, if you got balls, make sure you check your balls. If you don't have balls, check someone else's balls. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this awesome content. Welcome back, my Phyrexian family. This is Jedi Infect Master, TheWillHallExp. I'm going to take you through another deck tech here on my Gagori Infect build that I've been absolutely crushing Historic with. Okay, starting off, so we've got our 1-drops. We're playing a full play set of each. We've got the Vipers, the Knights, and the Renegades. These are here just to get an early pressure on the battlefield, so when we turn to the Fynn, we can start getting some poison counters going nice and early. So going into our 2s, obviously we've got 4 Fynn. This guy is exactly why we're playing this deck. The idea of giving our opponent tenant counters and winning out of nowhere, it just feels beautiful to me. Then we've got Gifted Aetherborn. Okay, this is just probably the best 2-drop we can get with Death Touch. It's got a good body, good power toughness. It's got Death Touch. It's also got lifelink, which means we can race, gain a little bit of life in the early game. In late game, we've got that extra life to play with, so we can start drawing into the cards we need to. Then we got Chevill, the Bane of Monsters. He is a monster slay, does what he says on the tin. Get him on the battlefield is going to make blocking for your opponent even that much harder. I always try and pick the counter for this on the creature on their side that's most likely to die, because that's the one they're going to throw under the bus in front of a Death Toucher, so at least we get to draw a card and gain some life from it. Going on to our 3-drops, this is really the meat and bones of this deck and why it's performing so well. So as you say, we've got a lot of 2s. There's no 4-ofs here. They all kind of do their purpose and role, and I like to have a lot of variety. So starting off, a lot of people are going to try and kill our early drops, or they're going to trade into them. And obviously, Fynn is the main one they want to get off the battlefield, so we need ways to get it back. So we've got 2 Call of the Death Dwellers here. They come in so handy all the time. Your opponent thinks, okay, they've got all these infects, these 1-drops that aren't going to do anything. Then you get Fynn back off the battlefield, attack, and just win out of nowhere. Hooded Blightfang is insane. It's very close to being a 4 of in this deck. It enables our plan B very, very well, which is just obviously normal damage. Every time you attack, your opponent loses a life and you gain a life. It also helps get rid of planeswalkers, etc. if we do have them on the battlefield. And the 1/4 body means blocking with this guy is so much better on our side. Okay, so we've got Bloodsky next, Bloodsky Sire. He is our tutor effect. So this is a pseudo way for us to go get Fynn if we need to, or if it's late game, because when he's turn 3, we might go get some collective companies. But we can basically tutor for whatever we need. Even if it's like, if they got a big board and they're only a couple of life, if we go get a Blightfang, or if we want to get a load of stuff back from our graveyard, we go get the Undercrypt. Having 2, because he's legendary, obviously, we can't have any more really. But again, nice body, attacks, trades, and we get to search. Remember to search before combat damage happens if he's going to die though. On this one, so I want some that are like quite hard to block, and obviously evasion and flying is ideal for that. Plus it's a 3-drop, so we can Coco into it, which we'll come on to later. It's got a good sized body, a 1/3 that only gets bigger. Again, it's got lifelink, it's got Death Touch, it's got flying. We can play, have 2 on the battlefield at the same time. It's ideal. Lurrus. So I was originally playing 2 Lurrus again for an extra way of getting back Fynn. I cut it down to 1. I didn't feel like when I was getting him on the battlefield I was able to do as much, and I was kind of showing my opponent my game plan there and then, so they could play around it. Where with the being able to Coco into it or call a dweller stuff at the graveyard, it's things they're not expecting. So I cut down to 1. It is ideal. It does have lifelink, but I don't think it's good enough to have a companion and make our deck worse, because all the powerful cards in this deck are 3-drops. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why have you got this draft uncommon in the deck? This guy or gal, I guess it looks like a gal, is insanely good when we kind of set up. So turn 1, we go Death Toucher. Turn 2, we go Fynn. So we've got 2 points in. Then we've got 6 points in. Then we play this. They have to have kill spells. They can't use blockers to get through, hope to not to die. This will take all the blockers on the battlefield out of the way. So being able to Coco into this, being able to play this and make them play around it. Also, you got the added fact that not many people know what this does. So, people are going to read it and they'll be like, okay, they kind of misread it. They think, okay, I just have to block it with a creature. It's not. It's all creatures on their side of the battlefield. Yeah, you're only going to trade with one because it's only got 1 power, but that's not what we want. We want all their creatures out the way so our other creatures can go through and finish off with infect damage. This card is great. No one's going to play around it. No one's going to see it come in. I promise you, play this card. Okay. Lastly, we've got Collective Company, All-Star. We're playing green. We're playing lots of creatures under 3. We want to be playing Collective Companies. I was at 4, but I was finding I wasn't hitting if I was either having a handful of 4 drops and no lands. So I cut one Collective Company and I started playing 1 more under Crypt. All our land we want to basically come into play untapped, which they do besides the Woodlands. The Woodlands will come into play untapped most of the time. The rest of it we want to come into play untapped so we can start generating our game plan nice and early. No sideboard, this is best of 1. If you've got anything you would change or you want to move up, maybe if you don't have enough wild cards, these are kind of interchangeable. If you've only got 4 of these and you don't have any of these, feel free to play 4 of these and none of these. If you've only got 1 of this but 3 of these, you can basically interchange them. I would always go for 2 assassins. I would try to go for 2 Bloodskys. You can play more fangs if you don't have the wild cards over Night Scavengers, or if you want to play 4 of these and none of the Night Fangs, feel free. All the rest of it's quite cheap. You don't have to play. Obviously, this is a mythic, so it could eat into your wild cards quite a lot. There's numerous other 1-drops you could play or 2-drops. As long as it's got Death Touch, it's just this guy. All this extra text is kind of relevant in a lot of matches. If you want to just play an extra Collector Company instead, you can always do that. It's kind of out there for you to play around with and test. This is the build that I found optimal, and I'm absolutely crushing on Arena with it. There is going to be a gameplay video coming out, so make sure you check that and keep an eye out on the channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see any more Infect content, let me know in the comments below. Hope you have a good day wherever you are in the world. Till next time.